Let's start with the obvious. Son Goku, a Saiyan warrior who's spent his entire life doing nothing but fighting things stronger than himself and winning anyway. By the time Goku reaches Super Saiyan Blue and Dragon Ball Super, he's trading punches with Barris hard enough to send shockwaves that threaten to destroy Universe 7. Not the planet, not the solar system, the observable universe. Whis confirms that 2 or 3 more clashes would have erased everything in existence. The US military's entire nuclear stockpile, every warhead, every bunker buster, every MOAB totals roughly 1,400 megatons. The energy needed to destroy a single universe is estimated at 10 to the 69th joules. That's a number with 69 zeros. The military's arsenal doesn't even register as a rounding error. Speed makes it worse. During the Tournament of Power, Goku achieves Ultra Instinct, a state where his body reacts to threats without conscious thought. In this form, he dodges attacks from Jiren, a fighter who transcends time itself. For context, an ICBM travels at Mach 23. Goku in base form was dodging lightning as a teenager, and he's gotten millions of times faster since. He could dismantle every military installation on Earth before a single soldier finishes pulling a trigger. And he doesn't even need to get physical. The Kamehameha wave that Master Roshi used to destroy the moon was fired by Goku when he was 12. By the Cell Saga, Goku's Kamehameha could destroy the solar system. By Super, he could blink and accidentally vaporize the continent he's standing on. The government doesn't have a plan for this. Nobody does. We already did a full video on Superman versus the military, and the short version is, nothing worked. But here's why he makes this list as a government ender specifically. Superman doesn't just tank missiles. In All-Star Superman, after absorbing excess solar radiation, he lifts 200 quintillion tons with one arm. That's roughly the mass of the Earth. He could literally pick up the Pentagon and throw it into orbit if he felt like it. In Superman Red Sun, an alternate universe, Kal-El actually does take over a government, the Soviet Union, and runs it more efficiently than any human leader because he can hear every citizen's heartbeat, see through every wall, and be in 12 places at once. His heat vision operates at temperatures that vary by writer, but consistently hits the millions of degrees. The surface of the sun is about 10,000 degrees Fahrenheit. The core is 27 million. Superman's heat vision is matched or exceeded core sun temperatures in multiple storylines. Every military vehicle, bunker, aircraft carrier, and missile silo is made of materials that melt at a few thousand degrees. He wouldn't need to fight the military, he could melt it from space while eating breakfast. The only theoretical shot is kryptonite, and we covered that already. Even with it, the military got maybe 30 seconds of advantage before Superman blew it into the atmosphere. The US government falls before lunch. Saitama's whole thing is that he wins in one punch. That sounds like a joke until you realize the manga keeps proving it's literal. During his fight with Cosmic Barreau, Saitama throws a punch so hard it blows away the atmosphere of Jupiter's moon low. That isn't even a serious punch. Jupiter's gravitational binding energy is about 2 times to 10 to the 36 joules. Saitama sneezed away part of it. The largest nuclear weapon ever detonated, the Tsar Bomba, released 2.1 times 10 to the 17th joules. Saitama's casual sneeze is roughly 10 trillion times more powerful than humanity's most devastating weapon. And that's Saitama holding back. His serious punch squared is the one that collided with Garu's identical move, punched a hole through the fabric of space-time, and ripped open a portal to another dimension. The US military could launch every weapon simultaneously, and Saitama wouldn't need to dodge. He'd just stand there looking bored while mushroom clouds bounce off his bald head. Then he'd ask if anyone knows a good sale at the grocery store. The government's actual best strategy is to simply never make him angry, because so far the only thing that's genuinely upset Saitama is missing a coupon deadline. Wanda Maximoff doesn't fight the government, she rewrites the reality the government exists in. In the House of M storyline, Wanda has a mental breakdown and remakes the entire Marvel universe with 3 words: no more mutants. She didn't fire a beam, she didn't throw a punch, she just decided that millions of mutants across the planet would lose their powers, and it happened. Instantaneously. Globally. The X gene was suppressed across the entire species because Wanda was having a bad day. Now imagine what she does when she's actually trying. In the comics, Scarlet Witch's chaos magic operates at a level that Doctor Strange, the Sorcerer Supreme, calls fundamentally unpredictable and potentially limitless. She's rewritten timelines, created pocket dimensions, resurrected the dead, and altered the laws of probability on a planetary scale. She once made it so that every weapon on Earth jammed simultaneously, not through an EMP or hacking, but by changing the probability of mechanical failure to 100%. The US government couldn't fight her because fighting requires a shared reality in which combat is possible. Wanda could simply decide that the concept of the federal government no longer exists, and it wouldn't. The chain of command dissolves, launch codes become gibberish, the Constitution was never written. You can't wage war against someone who can edit the universe like a Google Doc. Jonathan Osterman walked into an intrinsic field subtractor in 1959 and was disintegrated. Then he put himself back together because he felt like it. That's the power level we're dealing with here. Dr. Manhattan perceives all of time simultaneously, past, present, and future, as a single fixed landscape. He doesn't predict what the military will do. He already knows what they did because to him it's already happened. In Watchmen, the US government tries to control him and he just leaves, goes to Mars, builds a glass palace. The most powerful nation on Earth had exactly zero leverage. His manipulation of matter operates on the subatomic level. He disintegrates people by separating their atoms. He teleports by rearranging his own molecular structure. He once built an entire synthetic organism from nothing as an afternoon project. The military's weapons are made of atoms. Dr. Manhattan controls atoms. Every tank, every jet, every nuclear warhead is just a collection of particles he can scatter like dust with a thought. And nukes? The entire reason the government used him in Vietnam was because he was more effective than nuclear weapons. He won the Vietnam War single-handedly by walking through jungles and disintegrating the Viet Cong. The government can't nuke what's already nuclear. Manhattan is the bomb. You just can't on-detonate him. Nolan Grayson spent 20 years pretending to be Earth's greatest hero before he revealed his true mission: weaken Earth's defenses for a Viltrumite takeover. The thing is, he didn't even need 20 years. He could have done it in an afternoon. In the Invincible comics, Omni-Man flies through the planet, not around it, through it. He, along with two other Viltrumites, destabilizes the core of planet Viltrum, a planet far denser than Earth, and it cracks apart like an egg. The gravitational binding energy of Earth is roughly 2.24 times 10 to the 32nd joules. Omni-Man contributed a third of the force that exceeded a planet's binding energy. That puts his destructive output somewhere in the range of 10 to the 31st joules, which is 100 trillion times the entire US nuclear arsenal. Speed-wise, Viltrumites travel interstellar distances, meaning Omni-Man cruises comfortably above light speed. The fastest US military projectile, a railgun round, moves at Mach 7. Lightspeed is Mach 874,030. The military's fastest weapon move at roughly 0.0008% of Omni-Man's travel speed. He could level every military base on every continent and be home for dinner, literally because at light speed he could circle the globe 7 times in a single second. In episode 1 of the show, he kills the Guardians of the Globe, this universe's Justice League equivalent, in under a minute while injured. The US military is sending fighter jets against a man who murders Superman-tier heroes as a warm-up. Gojo is the strongest sorcerer in the Jujutsu Kaisen universe, and the reason isn't complicated. Nothing can touch him. Infinity, his inherited technique, creates an infinite number of subdivisions in the space between Gojo and anything approaching him. Bullets don't stop, they just never arrive. They slow down endlessly, approaching zero velocity without ever reaching it, like Zeno's paradox made real and weaponized. This means every bullet, missile, bomb, and shockwave the military fires enters an asymptotic slowdown field and dies there. Conventional weapons become conceptually impossible. You're not fighting a man, you're fighting the mathematical concept of a limit function, and you're losing. But Gojo doesn't just defend. His hollow purple combines his blue, attraction, and red, repulsion, the cursed energy, into a ball of imaginary mass that erases whatever it touches from existence. Not destroys, erases. It doesn't leave rubble, it leaves nothing. In the manga, Hollow Purple carved a miles-long canyon through a forest and straight through a mountain. Now picture that aimed at the Pentagon or an aircraft carrier group or NORAD. And if someone survives all that, there's domain expansion, unlimited void. Anyone caught inside experiences infinite information simultaneously, every stimulus in the universe hitting their brain at once. Targets are left catatonic. No military training, no mental conditioning prepares a human brain to process infinity. Generals, pilots, submarine commanders, they all just stop. In 0.2 seconds, Gojo could lobotomize every decision maker in range, and the chain of command ceases to exist. He's beaten Marx, who wished on a cosmic entity for the power to control an entire planet. He's destroyed Magalore, who ripped a hole between dimensions, and he's done all of this with a smile on his face because Kirby doesn't even understand that he's in danger. He just thinks he's playing. His copy ability means that anything the military throws at him becomes his weapon. Fire a tank shell, Kirby swallows it and gets Bomb Kirby. Send a jet, he inhales the pilot and becomes Jet Kirby. Drop a nuke, genuinely unclear what happens, but based on the games, Kirby would probably just get a very powerful new hat. The Warp Star lets him travel across galaxies in seconds. He can crack a planet in half with a single punch in the Megaton Punch minigame, which is treated as a casual feat. He survived being crushed into a flat disc, stretched into a parachute, and launched into space, all without taking damage. This 8-inch pink sphere has a higher confirmed kill count on cosmic level threats than most anime protagonists, and the US government would not be the hardest thing he's eaten this week. Without the gauntlet, Thanos is a galactic level threat who can trade blows with Thor and the Hulk. With it, he's essentially God. The Infinity Gauntlet grants absolute dominion over 6 fundamental aspects of existence: space, time, reality, mind, power, and soul. In the original Infinity Gauntlet comic, Thanos uses it to erase half of all life in the universe with a snap of his fingers. Not half of Earth, half of everything, everywhere, instantly. The US military has 1.3 million active personnel. Thanos could delete 650,000 of them between heartbeats, and there's no defense, no countermeasure, and no early warning system. But deletion is honestly the least creative thing the Gauntlet can do. The Reality Stone alone could turn every nuclear warhead into a bouquet of flowers. The Time Stone could age every aircraft carrier into rust before it leaves port. The Space Stone could relocate the entire Pentagon to the surface of Jupiter. The Mind Stone could make every soldier genuinely believe the war's already over. And the Power Stone amplifies all of these to universal scale. The only beings who have ever challenged Thanos with the full gauntlet are cosmic entities: Eternity, the Living Tribunal, the One Above All. Abstractions that represent the fundamental forces of the Marvel Universe. The US government is dealing with a threat class that requires literal gods to address, and even they lost. The Flash is fast. Everyone knows that. What most people don't realize is that the Speed Force doesn't just make Wally West fast, it makes the concept of military response time meaningless. In The Flash number 138, Wally outruns instantaneous teleportation. Let that sink in. Something moves from point A to point B in literally 0 time, and Wally beats it there. This means he moves faster than the concept of speed itself. He's outrun death. He has to run so fast he's traveled through time, between dimensions, and across the multiverse. A cruise missile moves at 550 miles per hour. Wally has clocked speeds measured in times the speed of light. The gap between the military's fastest projectile and the Flash is the same as the gap between a sleeping turtle and the edge of the observable universe. But speed isn't even his scariest weapon. The infinite mass punch accelerates Wally to near light speed, and relativistic physics kicks in. His fist gains the mass of a white dwarf star. When he hit Zum, an alien speedster, the impact was calculated at roughly the force of a supernova. That's a single punch with more energy output than the sun will produce in its entire 10 billion year lifespan. He could deliver that punch to every military target on Earth in the time it takes a nerve impulse to travel from your brain to your finger. And if the government tries to strategize, Wally thinks at the speed of light too. He can read every classified document in the Pentagon, process it, and form a counter strategy before a general finishes saying the word attack. The government doesn't just lose, they never even get a turn. Eric Lensher doesn't need to overpower the US military. The US military is made of metal. Every tank, fighter jet, aircraft carrier, submarine, bullet, missile, and rifle is constructed primarily from steel, aluminum, titanium, or copper. Magneto controls all of it. In the X-Men comics, he's ripped the adamantium skeleton out of Wolverine's body through his pores. He's pulled a submarine from the ocean floor. He's reversed the polarity of Earth's magnetic field. The entire military-industrial complex is, from Magneto's perspective, a giant toy box. He wouldn't even need to be on the same continent. In Ultimate X-Men, Magneto shifts Earth's magnetic poles, causing worldwide electromagnetic catastrophe from the comfort of his own base. Every GPS system goes haywire, every compass spins uselessly, communications scramble, satellites tumble out of controlled orbits. The military loses the ability to coordinate before a single order is given. Nuclear weapons? The launch mechanisms are metal. The warheads are encased in metal. The submarines carrying them are metal. Magneto could crumple a nuclear submarine like a soda can from 100 miles away, and he's done exactly that in the comics. The government's strongest weapons become the biggest liability. More arsenal means more things for Magneto to turn against them. They'd be better off fighting him with sticks and rocks, and honestly, even the rocks probably have iron in them. Okay, hear me out. That little pink ball from Nintendo is one of the most absurdly powerful beings in all of fiction, and most people don't even know it. In Kirby's canonical game lore, he has defeated Void Termina, a being described as the destroyer of worlds and bringer of chaos to the entire cosmos.